in the pharma space? What do you make of it? Why is pharma in a sweet spot? Is it lack of financials and risk on that is generally called in the market, because of which pharma is going up?
I think you are partially right. Basically, pharma stocks are getting favored because of, the investors' risk appetite has become lower and lower. Second point is that there is a dearth of any other sector which could provide you proper hope in terms of earnings growth, not necessarily to the price growth. Third point is that pharma sector are also seeing some improvement of their business. In U.S. market may not be that great, but as far as erosion is concerned, that U.S. market provides some good relief for them. Plus favorable U.S. dollar, so that will be the bonus.
All right. Surajit, let's talk about this entire, development that has come by in the United States. Essentially, generic drug makers have been, there's a litigation. The state attorney generals have sued generic drug makers for inflating prices. Taro is one of them accused that do have an Indian connection, but Mylan, Teva, all of them are among those that have been accused of price fixing. Now, Surajit, this is not the first time. We have seen something like this occur in the past as well. But, in such a time when pharma has taken so much of, a priority, how do you see it essentially pan out for pharma players?
See, it has happened. For many times it has happened. Those who are basically accused of, price rigging and price fixing. But I think majority of the times what Indian companies have got it is that given the track record, it is not very big thing to, break your head. It is mainly some $20, $30, $40 million max. And then those things are very much taken in stride given the size of the Indian companies over there, as well as overall. I don't think it is something really very concerning, because it keeps on coming for many companies, including Indian companies, for the last 15, 20 years. And that is not something which ultimately at the end of the day, when you go for out-of-court settlement, I haven't seen that is something really, broke somebody's back. It is maximum 20, 30, 40 million. That could be taken as a one-time thing and you go ahead.
How would you approach the market or these pharma stocks after the run-up that you have seen? Which sort of, companies would you essentially go ahead and, advise your clients to buy? Facing US, facing mix of India and US, or probably a company like only which has a good branded portfolio in India?
I would suggest companies with U.S. business, which is beaten black and blue for the last 3-4 years, or along with domestic companies, which has been growing, or some people which have taken good initiative, which has given them a good base to grow. I'll also bet on some of the companies which has a mid to lower level price level of any on the brand, as well as good exposure in generic in the domestic market. So I think these are the guys which will be good, and best will be among the lot will be the guys who have a diverse portfolio across the world. So I think there will be a risk-return perspective surface, followed by the guy who will have, mostly domestic exposure, and third will be US and India next.
Right. Also just wanted to understand, Surajit, that, how would you essentially look at the re-rating? Because till now, earnings upgrade have not come. So one would say that they have gone again back to those 2014 levels. I mean, I was just looking at Lupin valuation for FY21. It is 32 times. I think that was probably the peak as well during 2000. How would you look at the earnings now?
32 times which year? I think 1 year forward.
I said that
Lupin is basically-
for a company like Lupin, earnings have now become, the valuations have now become 33 times 1 year forward in FY21, which was probably at the peak of 2014-15 as well. So how would you look at valuations now that earnings upgrade have not come?
See, P multiple is basically your perception of risk. So in pharma companies, for example, if you go by Lupin, for example, which you have raised, I think people are mainly going by what FY22 provides. FY21, everybody knows that is a washout, and first half will be worse. So FY22, everybody is assuming is that globally the demand will be better off than 21. And whatever the multiple they are giving, that depends on 21. So from that multiple perspective, I think very much 22 to 24 kind of, multiple for the large Indian majors in pharma space you can expect.
Right. Right, Surajit. Thanks so much for taking out time for us. Good to get perspective. Just as we were talking to Surajit Pal, markets have gone down further. Just a psychological level, Nifty has slipped below the 10,000 mark, but we were already 113 points down, and now we are just closer to that 10,000 level. Taking a break, coming back quickly.